To keep up with the theme of health, right? We're talking about our bodies. We're talking about changes in our bodies. If you're gaining weight, if you're losing weight, if you're feeling sick, if your skin is healthy, etc. I want to ask you a question about technology, because technology is getting kind of crazy these days, right? Mm-hmm. To the point where I really think we're really close to being some form of a cyborg, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And if you think about it right now, like I can't leave anywhere without my phone, right? The phone is basically attached to me, right? If I leave my phone at home, there's panic, dude. There's panic. And I know there's people out there who's like, that's fucking pathetic, blah, 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 blah. I would much rather someone steal my car. Let's say it was like $100,000 car. Just go take the car. Just leave me my phone, right? Because it's access to people, to information, to everything. And so I had a question for you. With the rise of artificial intelligence, with the rise of, integrated technologies, would you ever, let's say in the next 10 years, like think about realistically implanting some kind of device into your body?
Me? No. Never. So, okay. Like my work recently started to do direct deposit. So that's, send the weekly paycheck directly into your bank account.
It's my jam.
Prior to that, I think that started in maybe October or November. Prior to that, I used to still go into the bank teller, not even the bank machine. I would get my checks. I'd let a couple build up, make you feel a little bit, like you're loaded, and then go into the teller, have a chat, do that thing, and I just still prefer the analog way. I prefer to write on a piece of paper. I have an iPad and it does its thing, but I still prefer to read from like a book, write on a piece of paper, and just that sort of old school analog way. So the idea already where we are technologically terrifies me as it is.
But what if it made your life easier and everyone was doing it? So hear me out. Let's say it's a chip like this that goes in the back of your neck or wherever, under your armpit. You don't see the shit, right?
Sure. And
it connects to an app, and it's the Stu app. It's your life app. You can check every morning. You log in to you, and it says, "Oh shit, you gained this much weight, or you need, you need to burn these many calories to do this, or like you should really take a shit because you're backed up, or like, hey, your left leg is running at 30%. You should go see the doctor because you got a limp." Like that kind of information, to the point where you can actually like every day assess, like, how can I live to 250, basically, right?
Yeah.
Or is that still just like I don't think so?
For me, it's still an I don't think so. I mean, I guess it's one of those like, ancient philosophical questions where someone, if they were like, if someone knew, or some being or whatever knew when and how you're going to die, would you want to know? It's like, no, I'm okay with that sort of willful ignorance to know that there are unknowns out there and that there are mysteries. Right. And the same thing for this, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that there aren't huge benefits to what you're just describing, but to me, I'm just like, nah, that's not something that I want to.
That ain't you.
That ain't me. That just like awareness to that sort of detail seems sort of to the overall point, like less human, You're really completely foregoing our whole idea of
your machine.
You're a machine.
You're becoming the machines. You're the rise of the machines.
Yeah, you're Christian Bale or whatever.
Yeah, you're T1.
T1. Yeah. But it's like, because I mean, even take a look at what we're doing now, right? More often than not, most of us and probably the majority of these listeners as well sit at a computer all day, and you're hunched and you're feeling just awful by the end of it. Human beings weren't meant to do that. That wasn't we have evolved from the chimps to stand upright for a reason. Now we've just devolved to go backwards, and they're like, sit in this lounge chair, sit in this office chair and get and stare in front of this screen that's with this fake light.
Now let me ask you a question. Imagine the cavemen back in the day, right?
They'd be good at computers.
Yeah.
Because they're already sort of hunched over anyway.
Well, that's what I'm
All
saying.
they need to do is type away.
What if they're around a campfire, right? They're fucking hungry and bored, right? And like someone just linked them like 6 ergonomic desk chairs and they sat on them. Do you think they'd be like, I fucks with this? Or do you think they'd be like, you know what? We don't need that. We're not going to evolve to that next stage of hunch over.
Well, that would be the equivalent of the microchip for them.
They've gone to the Stone Age, the Stone Age right
after. Basically, it's trying to say, what's this? An ergonomic lounge chair?
Oh my fuck!
Because I mean, I don't know. Like that's a pretty wild question, but I think and I think you're sort of a part of the process too, where people are recognizing this. Yeah. And they're going for the stand-up desk. The stand-up desk is
standing right now.
And I see a lot of these people at my work where it's like a elevator or like an escalator. Like it's got, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a platform. And so sometimes when they're, I'm going to eat lunch or this and that, they'll sit back down. And it'll kind of go down. And then when they're like, I'm feeling like I need to stand and stretch out, then they kind of pop it back up. And it almost has like hydraulics that bring it right back up to the top without damaging anything.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm rocking right now. I gave it a try. And I actually did it specifically for the podcast because, dude, work all day. And then, we got to record for another hour and a half. And I just slumped over in a chair. I said, listen, man, I'm going to stand a little bit. So I don't know. It hasn't crapped out just yet, so I'm pretty happy about that.
What day are you?
This is day 1, baby.
Okay, so it hasn't crapped out yet. That's a good catch.
It wasn't cheap either, so I want to make it at least 10 days or so,
I guarantee you if you got rid of it, you put that on your front lawn, gone in 30 seconds.
It's gone in 30 seconds.
I've the stuff I see in my neighborhood that people put out and literally goes like that is unbelievable.
Well, the number one is a fridge. If a fridge goes on, if someone has an old fridge and you put it on the front lawn, 3 to 6 minutes, a car goes by and just strips it for parts. Yeah. And I think I've even seen not even a grown man, an old man, 70 plus on a fucking bike, on a bicycle. And he's just like,
strapped a fridge to his
if I don't take this fridge right now, someone's coming. Right. Yeah. He sees a guy down the street in a pickup truck. He's like, he's going for it. And he fucking did it. He did it.
If you see a pickup truck coming and it's got the back bars, that's taking every fridge in the general vicinity.
In a 5 kilometer radius, easily.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those guys are scrappers. They're picking up every scrap from here to Timbuktu, right? And they're trying to make their 30 cents. And
they make like $40 a day, and they go straight to the liquor store.
Yeah, like I wonder with those dudes, like, do they do anything else? Like, because they can't make that much money, right? Like, by the time you've pissed away all the money in gas, the 3 sheets of aluminum is gone. Like that would have paid only for the gas. Like, where's the profit?
Yeah. You know what, actually, I've been thinking about a lot, because in my neighborhood, and probably in yours too, there's a lot of I'm assuming they're homeless, but I'll get to it in a second. I'm assuming they're homeless, but they go through everyone's recycling and grab alcoholic cans or bottles, right? Yeah. And then they work all night, dude, all night, every day. And they go take it to the liquor store, and they probably get, I don't know, probably anywhere between $12 and $20, right? If you come with 4 garbage bags, maybe more, or a full cart.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, if you put that much effort, the hours, the breakbacking, the labor, like fix yourself up a little bit.
Go get a job.
You can still be homeless and go make $12 an hour at a scrap yard or something like that.
Yeah.
You have such a great work ethic. You know what I mean?
Because that is one of the things that perplexes me, because I mean, some of those dudes that do that stuff, the cans, the scrap metal, shit, even the panhandlers who are sitting on the partitions of the freeways or the big major streets at the streetlights, they work way harder than the average person. And
I just sit at my desk and my back's in pain, and these guys are actually hustling.
straight up hustling, and they're doing the damn. Like there's a dude I saw today, just over by Martin Grove Collegiate at Martin Grove in Eglinton. And I pulled up to the red light, and he looked old, and it's freezing today. It must be like -10 or something.
Yeah, Celsius. Leave.
And I had to hook Buddy Boy up with the toonie because I felt bad. I was like, it is fucking cold out, man. Like, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, he's doing his thing. He knows that that's how he's going to make some dinero, and por favor. You know what
I mean? Muy dinero. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just wanted to touch base on the last thing here. I think we were talking about artificial intelligence, but fuck, you know, it really veered off here. What I wanted to tell you was everyone's got a Roomba, right?
Sure.
Everyone's got like smart lights, the connected home.
Yeah,
right?
Like everything.
Even your fridge has got Bluetooth. Some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know about your ice cube situation, all that stuff. When you talk about, you know, my dad often says, "Shit, technology's going to kill us," right? Mm-hmm. And I think what he's referring to is just like sentient robots. You know what I mean? Conscious robots are going to take over the planet, take our jobs first, and then kill us, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's right.
Yeah,
I think he's right. And it's funny because like, all we have are like vacuum cleaners and like lights and all these little things. And maybe it's already happening. Like maybe your Roomba robot has been plotting the whole time. They're like, listen, I'm going to do the living room. Then I'm going to hit up the bathroom and the hallway. But in this time, I'll be scanning and scheming for when I grow my arms and legs, I'm going to murder this family.
Well, because I think it's also even more nefarious than that as well. Because from what I've read, those Roomba things, they move and they bounce, right? And they bounce off. And so basically, and it also sends data to like these servers, I guess, for I think iRobot is the company or something like that. And what it does after bouncing off, and after it bounces off enough, after I guess months and months of constantly cleaning, quote unquote, God knows how well those things actually fucking do. It basically outlines your house.
Yeah,
like it can tell you where
machine learning. Like at the end, like it learns your house.
No, but also it's like after you see it moving from place to place to place, if you had a picture of its metadata or whatever, or it would show you basically an aerial view of your house with spots where it couldn't clean. That would be like the dresser or the TV stand or whatever. So it's kind of getting it on. So to your point, I think it's already figuring you out, and then it's going, okay, all right, I get a sense of where his gun is over there. So if he wants to fuck around, I know I kind of slide over there and then form like Voltron and fucking take his head off.
Yeah. Or like he just knows like, I know where the staircase is, spends a lot of time going up and down. So maybe I'll conveniently turn myself off at 7 a.m. and
park right in front,
chill at the last step. Yeah. And there might be an unfortunate surprise.
Exactly. Looking like the Mario Kart banana.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
whoa.
No, it's definitely a scary thing for sure.
Yeah, it's fucked up.